Welcome to Channel ATV Live here at Channel ATV Podcast Studio. We are live. We're excited. We have a special guest in the building. I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Washington, U.S.A. 2022. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. 2021, 2022. Both. We give you both. But seriously, we're excited to have this young lady. She's a powerful young lady with a great story. She comes from within the state of Washington because she's representing the state of Washington. So we're excited because she's actually representing all of us. So she's called MAZZY. MAZZY is originally from New York, but her family is from Washington State. And she actually has been here for many, many years as well. You get to hear her story as we move along in the business. But before we do that, we're going to take a short break and make sure we pay our bills. And when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to the lovely Miss Washington, USA. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Baby, the queen has arrived.
Turn it on, cook it up, make it boil, let it soak. Is it hot? Is it cold? What degree? Spill the tea.
You know, sometimes in the morning, I just like to...
All right, welcome back. We are here at the studio with the lovely Miss MAZZY. Welcome to the studio, my friend.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely. I like your bling. I like your bling that's matching your jacket.
Bling, bling.
All that good stuff. Is that fashion from Washington or from where?
This is actually from one of our sponsors named Marmalade. They're an amazing brand in Brooklyn and in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I love them. They're amazing.
Wow. You came ready. You know, somebody gave you a jacket. Somebody gave you the sash, right? But
Yes.
Somebody gave you your shoes, your pants. Oh, my goodness. This is exciting. MAZZY, welcome. It's good to see you. How excited are you to be the new Miss Washington, USA?
Honestly, I am so grateful. You know, I am turning 22 next week, and this is the happiest I can say I've ever been in my life. Just so grateful, loving support, and working for my community. This is something that I've been working towards for 7 years of my life, this title, and finally having it is just... It's so crazy.
Wait. You said 7 years?
7 years. Not for Miss Washington, but...
You've been, you're 21. You're about to be 22.
Yes.
And you've been doing this for 7 years.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So how old were you when you started into
I was 14 years old. I was 14. I started competing as a freshman in high school for Miss New Jersey Teen USA, and I did that for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then my last year competing for that pageant in New Jersey, I placed first runner-up. So got super close to the pageant, and then I took a year off and then moved to Washington officially, and then competed for 3 years, and now here I am.
Oh, my goodness. Well, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
I've known people who never actually managed to win Miss Washington USA until they aged out.
It's
you know what
really
I mean?
difficult. I was very much this year, I put all my work and effort into it, and I was at the end where I was like, I don't want to keep competing until I'm 27. I kind of just want to win when I'm on the younger side, and then go through it, win Miss USA possibly, and go through that to career, and then move on to my next career, which is more in political science and furthering my degree.
Absolutely. You're very young, but you're very skilled and you speak very well. I mean, you know what you're talking about. You can dive into politics, and I'm excited to dive into that to learn about your experiences so far. But right now, before we dive deep into your stories and your family structure and all that good stuff, we're going to take a short break from our sponsors, and when we come back, be ready to go. All right? Keep it right here at Channel ATV.
Do you run a nonprofit organization in the education, health, and human services sectors? Do you need grant funding for your organization? Or do you need help developing programs to help you raise money for your nonprofit organization? At Vibrant Funding, our mission is to connect our nonprofit partners in the education, health, and human services sectors to the financial resources required to achieve their mission. We support nonprofit organizations based in and operating in the United States and Africa. We offer the following services to new and established organizations: program development, donor engagement and retention, grants research and writing. Contact us at www.vibrant-funding.com or email us at info@vibrant-funding.com. Call us at 404-751-6802 to learn more about our services and how we can help you to have an impact on the world. Vibrant Funding, connecting donors and nonprofits.
All right, welcome back. Those of you that are joining us right now, we're having a great conversation with a young lady from Washington. She happens to be the Miss Washington USA 2021, 2022, right? Going into 2022. So we're excited. If you're joining us right now, please make sure you follow her journey. We're going to post our social media links. Connect with her. She talks very well. She can engage. She has a media background. So I'm excited to talk to her. So Mazzy, welcome back, my friend. It's good to see you, and it's good to have you in the studio again. So, going forward, what should people expect from you?
They should expect a lot of conviction, a lot of power behind my posts, my walks. This is my only time I'm going to compete for Miss USA.
Right.
And the fire that I feel in me already and the people that I'm working with who are pushing me towards that goal, you should expect a lot from me the coming next months.
Absolutely. So you're almost done with college?
Yes, I am.
And how's that going?
It's going very well. I actually finished the final today. I am finished with my degree completely, but I have one more class to finish up credits. But my degree, my political science degree, is finished.
Wow.
Finally.
Oh, my goodness. I can't remember the last time I was 21, but I remember the feeling of just like, oh, my God, I'm done with college. It's an exciting time, right? So do you feel mature, or do you feel like, you can stick around in this age for a while?
I feel very mature from a young age. I've always felt like 30 years old.
I know that's the wrong thing to ask, but I gotta ask, right?
I get it. I'm a very old soul, like very mature.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are way older than me. I have some of my best friends are in their 30s or late 20s, and they've always been able to relate to me because I'm just so articulate and I can understand bigger topics. And I've always been someone who is acted more mature than my age.
Yeah. So you are obviously interested in politics.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about your background. I know that you've worked with some of the mayor people that actually campaigned to be mayor in Seattle. And how was that experience, and how did that happen for you?
My love is in campaigning. I found my love in campaigning last summer when I worked as a social media curator for James Donaldson's campaign for Seattle mayor. And let me tell you, it was a little bit crazy, but it was such a great experience, being thrown into that environment that's very tough, fast-paced. We're having Zoom calls and talks all the time, talking with constituents, and really finding these issues and trying to push our candidate. Why do we love him? Why are we talking about him? Why are we voting for him? Because if I'm not voting for him, how can I convince other people to vote for him? So that was really a tough summer, but also a very memorable one.
Absolutely. There's something I didn't share with you. I saved this for the right time, right? So right here where you are in this building, the mayor of SeaTac is actually, the office is right here.
Really? And
when people are running for office, this is the building where they come, and we help them create, the profiles and stuff like that, so that hopefully they can go ahead and, So we do, we play our part in the background. You know what I mean?
I see you. I see you guys. I see that. Awesome.
So we understand that, if you're not on the table, you're probably on the menu. So we understand that. So we have to play our
Get it.
All right. So now let's talk pageantry for a while.
Yes.
What prompted you to become a pageantry queen, or even just thinking of, because kids at 14 years old, they're not thinking, oh my gosh, I want to be wearing a sash and crown and walk around with it. What prompted you to do that?
I get asked this question a lot because I did start pretty young on the younger side. Right. When 14 is youngest that you can compete for a Miss Teen USA or Miss USA.
Correct.
And I never knew about pageants before then. Literally, I was talking to my dad and he pulled up his laptop and he got an email from Miss New Jersey Teen USA and he was like, hey, do you want to compete in a pageant? And I'm always the type to say yes to everything, yes to new things and new stuff. So I said yes. And it was 1 month from the pageant. So this was, I got all my dresses and my shoes the day of my interview. So the day of my pageant, going to the hotel, where I'm about to have an interview with 4 judges. I have no idea. I've never competed in a pageant in my life. And I'm running around New York City with my dad, just buying some dresses, buying some shoes. And we just have no idea what to do. And it was insane. And I could never imagine at 14 years old that 7 years later, I'd be going competing for Miss USA.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations,
Thank
my friend.
you.
That's a dream come true for most of us, and I'm just actually having a great time just listening to your stories and stuff like that. And Mazzy, you're very talented. You love media. You love all these things. What do you do for fun to just keep your spirits up?
I love hanging out with great people.
Yeah,
People.
And what are great people in your mind?
People who are genuine. I feel like one of my best talents is finding people who are genuine and who are going to be there for me, and just great friends. And I found a lot of those people in pageantry, and especially just the surrounding areas. Pageantry has led me to them. Just people who I feel comfortable, I can relax, I can talk to them about whatever, and just people that recharge me, recharge my, what is it? It's like my aura, my senses, just like my whole being can recharge me and bring me peace. That's what I really desire, whether that's family or friends or my significant other. That's my favorite thing to do, is be around great people.
Absolutely. Shout out to some of the people that are making a difference in your life, such as Miss Maureen and David, from, they actually, the people that actually help to push you ladies forward to stay positive and still just keep going. So shout out to Maureen and David for just making things happen year after year after year. And in my mind, I don't think they've ever made a mistake to choose the wrong, winner. It's always a great one. So when I get the opportunity to interview, the past queens and the queens to come in future, I think they'll always be great because it's a great franchise. And I'm just really excited for you ladies. Yeah.
Yes, I love Maureen and David so much. They've been my biggest supporters the past 3 years, and they always believed in me. I remember my first year competing for Miss Washington. I was 19, and I only placed top 15.
Yeah.
And I think a few weeks later, David was like, let's have a call, kind of talk about just your scores and pageantry, and I can help you, and all, just kind of talk about the pageant. He does this for all the girls, and now it's kind of a reoccurring thing that you do after pageants.
Yeah.
So from that conversation, he even told me, Mazzy, I think you can go all the way. And back then I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But he meant go all the way, Miss Universe. And I was like, you really believe in me that much? I only placed top 15. Do you think I can make it that far? And here I am. I'm at the first step before Miss USA, and that goes to Miss Universe. So I'm on my road.
Absolutely, absolutely. You already know I'm from Africa, so we've seen the great ones, all the way from Zozie from South Africa and stuff like that. So there's a great opportunity for everyone, as long as you work so hard, regardless of where you're from, regardless of how you grew up, regardless of what your story is, you can still make it to the top. And in my opinion, you are just an example of that. You can get there. Go Washington, right?
Go Washington, let's go.
Absolutely. So you've traveled a lot around the world. You've been to so many places. I can't even go down the list to mention that. Tell us some of the interesting things that you've seen, when you travel, if you go to other countries and stuff.
Yes, one of the most interesting places I've been to is Morocco.
Morocco.
So I was there for 3 weeks about 3 years ago with one of my best friends who is Moroccan. We went to Spain, Morocco, Casablanca, Marrakesh.
Yeah.
And went to it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was definitely a wake-up call with different cultures, and I had to acclimate to that, but it was an amazing experience, and I definitely am looking forward to going back. If I didn't win this year, I was going to go back to Morocco, but you know what? Miss USA is calling, so I definitely want to go and compete in Miss USA. Morocco can wait.
Well, you made it to Africa. That's all that matters, right? So you can say, I've been to Africa.
Yes.
That's great. So how did you deal with the heat? And did you get to ride a camel and all that?
I had attempted once. The camel did not like me. He was like, get off my back. And the guy kept on trying to get me to get back on the camel. And I was like, no, I don't think he wants me on there. I don't want to ride an animal that doesn't want me to be there. So I had a 1 second experience riding a camel.
Yeah. So let's go walk down memory lane. You're on stage. They're about to announce who the winner is, as the images show. You guys are holding hands with, what's going through your mind at that moment before they make the final announcement who the winner is for Miss Washington USA? Oh,
gosh. It's such a surreal moment, and sometimes I'm going about my day and I think about it and I kind of well up with tears a little bit because it happened. I Miss Washington, but it was a new type of top 8 where we usually have top 5, but this year we had top 8 where 8 girls have a chance to be Miss Washington. We all answer questions, and of course, in my luck, I got called first to do my answer for top 8, and I left there feeling very good, very certain with my answer, very strong, and I was like, wait, I think I can win this. I kind of sat back and watched everyone come off stage. And then we were waiting there and they called, okay, 4th runner-up, 3rd runner-up. And then the year before I got 2nd runner-up. So they passed 2nd runner-up and I was like, wait, it might be me. What? And they got the 1st runner-up. And by 1st runner-up, I kind of had like a little bit of a feeling, but I was like, okay, there's always like a little chance.
Yeah.
But I was like, but my answer, I felt really good with it. So it kind of was that mind battle. And I was standing on the right side of the stage and my family was like mostly all on the right side.
Yeah.
And they were in the front row like freaking out. And they called and just was... If you watch the video, I was just like shaking and I was just running around saying like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? What is going on? And just walking to that side of the stage with my family there and having my family just cheering and crying. It was such a magical moment and something that made me think about for the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah. Those are great moments. I hope you get to relieve that and just always, every time you feel down or if you feel discouraged, just think about those moments, how great it was. So I've judged a lot of pageantries, obviously, in my life. I've been a judge so many times, and that's one of my favorite moments, actually. It's my favorite, but it's not the easiest one. You know what I mean? Because it's not a better feeling. There's no better feeling than let me put it this way. It's never okay to see anybody lose or just almost get there and then they just don't quite make it, So, but I have a weird thing that I always do. I look at the people because you guys always hold hands and there's somebody who's always squeezing somebody else harder than the other. Most of the time they win. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I was like holding some girl's hand and like I remember when the girl started coming kind of towards me so we can get in the middle together, all 4 of us, I like hugged the girl to my right and I was like squeezing another hand and we were like looking at each other and smiling. Yeah. And I felt really, really good with my win because other people were happy for me. Right. Because I'm genuinely a nice person and I really want to see the best in people. So it felt really good that everyone else was happy for me too. So we were all feeling good with the win. No one was upset about it. And it felt great that I had so many supporters, all these girls I competed with.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, you said it right. You're a great person. You're a great young lady. And the future is so bright for you. Hopefully nothing happens that can deter, your determination. I don't see that,
No,
right?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. We got this. Okay, let's get it done.
Your new 2022 Miss Washington USA is MAZZY ECKEL!
Let's get it done. So, what are some of the things that really bothers you? Like, like if you feel, what really lets you down?
I really hate rude people. I just, honestly, sometimes you do come across that in pageantry too. I've had really great experiences personally just with pageantry. And I've also heard some like really bad stories too. But I just don't have any room for just rude people who are just mean for no reason. I've always said like I'd rather lose than succumb to being a rude person and win. Because what's the point? You're not going to leave there with friends. You're not going to leave there with a great memory. You're just going to be so focused on that win and being angry and being just not having that connection. Because the most important thing with pageantry is connection you have. And the connections you meet with the girls. Like you're paying money to compete in this pageant. You might as well walk away with a great experience if you don't win.
Yeah. Very well said. And MAZZY, every pageant lady has a platform, right? Yes. So what was your platform when you were competing for Miss USA, Miss Washington USA? Is that going to be the same platform that you're going to take to the finals as well?
They will be.
The nationals?
Yes, I have 2 platforms. I have one, I have like 2 little split platforms. One is my podcast, Pursuing Leadership, on Apple Music and Spotify. If you guys want to go check it out.
Okay. What's the link? What's the link? So we got to talk to the people so they can check it out.
Yes, of course. It's Pursuing Leadership on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Amazing. We're excited. So you also love to advocate for issues pertaining to sex trafficking.
Yes.
No, so tell us about that.
Yes, I've been working with a nonprofit, actually kind of down the street from here, I told you.
Yeah.
And it's one of my best friends is a director, and she brought me on about 2 years ago to be a fitness instructor. So I begun starting teaching fitness classes once a month at least, sometimes twice if I had the time. Usually it was yoga, HIIT fitness, anything from like body weights to strength training. I like to kind of throw in meditation there as well.
Right.
And what I've learned through learning more about sex trafficking and being more educated by being around so many women and people who have been sex trafficked is that they lose that mind to body connection. They don't have that because they've been forced into these situations that are not their own. And being able to work out and feel your body move and have that be from your own doing and your own consented ways, it's really empowering to have yoga and strength, and that's what I really teach these girls. So one of my things is teaching fitness classes as well as motivational speaking with those women.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so you love to work out and stay fit and stuff like that. So what do you eat to look like that?
I actually don't eat meat. I eat a lot of fish. I love shrimp, like seafood, shrimp, salmon. I probably eat salmon like 3 times a week, a lot of that. And I've previously had an eating disorder, so I'm not a person that's a restrictive diet. I love feeding my body, feeling my body the way that it wants to be. So I'm really an active person, but I also make sure that I'm getting my calories, because being Miss Washington it's a full-time job, and I need to have energy to be able to interact with people and be able to keep up with my daily activities.
Very well said. Very well said. So do you love any sports, movies? What do you do in your relaxing time? What do you do for fun?
I love reading and being outside.
And that's what you do for fun? Okay. What else?
Reading. I like writing as well, and working out, of course. A lot of my friends are gym rats too, so we'll meet up and do little workouts. I honestly try to incorporate all these activities in my life. Like one of my favorite things when I'm stressed is going out and working out, or working out with my significant other, or inviting my friend to have some girl time and get your workout in.
Excellent. We love it, man. We love it. So what about just in general, I know obviously you didn't get it here by yourself, right? So who has helped you along the way? It's a long list, but who are some of the people that really made a difference in your life to get to where you are right now?
You're right. It is a very long list. But the top of it, I can definitely say friends and family. I have an amazing partner. He's been with me for almost 4 years and has been through the journey of Miss Washington for as long as I've been competing for Miss Washington. My family is my biggest supporters. Almost all of them came out to come watch me, and they were crying. They were freaking out, and they loved it. And as well as my coach. Her name's Giselle Boone. We've been together for about almost 2 years. She is my stylist, one of my best friends, my companion. I honestly feel like I can talk to her about anything, and she's one of my biggest people helping me for Miss USA, really coordinating my journey, making sure that I'm on the right path. And then there's like Maureen, David, friends, and other people, but also the communities I work with, the nonprofits I partner with have rooted me and supported me before I was with Miss Washington. When I was Miss Capitol Hill, they were supporting me, so I have to thank them as well.
Absolutely. Miss Capitol Hill, huh?
Yes. That was my old title. We can throw that one away.
No, we can't. It's part of the history. We're going to keep counting, man. Keep counting. Well, stay tuned right here at Channel 8 TV. We're having a great conversation with our friend here, Miss Mazzy. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up and ask the final questions. Stay tuned right here at Channel 8 TV. We'll be right back.
Yes, them. Big up to DC Productions. You don't know Sean Paul, there ain't no second guessing. Taking it to the limit and beyond. You know what I mean? Making them know it's the DC Productions. Got the flow. Yeah, man, keep it locked. Dirty.
Well, welcome back to Channel 8 TV. We're having a conversation with our friend, Miss Mazzy, who is a great young lady. And obviously, you've heard from our stories. And before we wrap up, we just want to thank you for staying with us all this far. And we want to make sure that you continue to tune in every time we bring special guests, from sports to entertainment to pageantry, you name it. You can do that by actually staying in touch with us at info@channel8tv.org, or you can go to our website, www.channel8tv.org. So, Mazzy, welcome back to the program here. So let's talk a little bit about your future now.
Yes, let's do it.
So what does the future look like for you?
You know, it's constantly always changing, but one thing's for sure is that I love politics. I've always been involved in it since a very young age. And like I said before, I love campaigning. I love everything behind it. So whatever the future holds, Miss USA, hopefully, fingers crossed, I definitely want to go back to my career and see where it takes me.
Absolutely. I like the vagueness of your future. You know?
It's very big.
That's how you can tell who's 21, who's 22. That's how you can tell.
It's myself too. I'm like, my life is changing every 6 months, so it's hard to say like for sure this or for sure that. But I'm like, okay, for sure, like we're hoping for Miss USA, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, no. Either way, you got this. This. So, just looking at something much more serious right now. You know, what are your thoughts about what's going on in Russia? First of all, shout out to all the people that are contributing from the community to actually put the clothes together, the food together to send to Ukraine, you know, but, you know, coming back to you, you know, what are your thoughts right now about what the world is going through, especially when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, the war that's happening right now?
It's devastating. I recently did a podcast last week with my friend who is from the capital of Ukraine, Kiev, and she spoke about her friends and her family being in the capital and having to be evacuated to almost to the edge of Poland. And being a political science major, I feel that I know a little bit about like what's going on with them in Russia, and just the annexation of Ukraine into Russia and become part of the Russian Empire. It's just, I just don't think it's a waste of human life, really taking people's lives just to revert back to Soviet Union times and revert back to having Ukraine being part of Russia. I just don't see the point of it, really. And I really do send my love and support people in Ukraine. Keep fighting. This is your country. And we know that you have the support of the U.S. and the rest of the world behind you.
Very well said. Very well said. What are opinions on the way forward, you know, for ceasefire? Do you think that's something that should end right away? And if so, should the sanctions be reverted back, or what should be the future, or what does the future should look like, from your opinion? Because you know a little bit about politics as well. So you understand when I talk about the sanctions, you know the list of things that have been changed, obviously, and rightfully so. You know, so what do you think the ceasefire should look like?
This war is hurting the Russian economy and the Russian civilians as well, too. It's not only just Ukrainian people as well. But what we have to think about is what lengths are we willing to go to prevent this war and to stop it. And from the support I've seen from the U.S. and the money that's been donated to Ukraine, we are all willing to go the lengths to help prevent and stop further damage. But Russia, the president of Russia, really needs to take a look and see this war is going to devastate his country as well. And there are so many Russians who don't support this war and have family members in Ukraine, and do not want to go into this war because it's going to lead to a very bad ending. So I do approve a ceasefire, and if Russia complies with ceasefire, then we will be able to remove the sanctions that are devastating their economy right now.
Very, very, very tough times, especially now when you watch the images of the kids and just mothers and separated from their husbands because they have to fight for the land and things like that. It's just really, really, really heartbreaking. And you said it right. So there's got to be a ceasefire right now and talk later. Ceasefire right now. Let's talk later, because nothing can justify taking people's lives, especially
never
in this case. Yeah. All right. So. Coming back to Washington, people in Washington are looking for answers for different things in terms of policies, in terms of policing, in terms of so many different things. What are some of the things that need to change when it comes to Washington? We talk about just different policies or even legislation. In your opinion, what do you think needs to change in order for Washington to move forward and actually become a better state? It's a great state as it is, but for things to change, such as homelessness and things like that, what do you think needs to change? What should be your primary focus right now?
I was going to mention homelessness. So the 3 top issues in Washington is homelessness, rent control, and sex trafficking.
Yes.
Washington is one of the top 20 places that sex trafficking has happened, and over 600 children a year are being sex trafficked in Washington alone, which is why it's one of my biggest platforms, and I advocate for survivors and speaking to them. In the constitution of homelessness, people are sometimes coming at it at a very bad way. They see homeless people as people that are not human, that they're just waste, and that's That's not true at all. I come from New York City where we're used to having homeless people on the streets, and it doesn't bother me at all just seeing people because they are people too. But people become homeless for many different reasons, and it's not just one or the other. It can be drugs, it can be loss of jobs, it can just be random circumstances. And I feel that we need to create a model, our policy systems that work for everybody and not just certain groups of homeless people. Work for them if they are an addict, work for them recovery, work for them getting a house and jobs. And I feel that we try to tackle it from one solution works for all, and that just is not the case. And we have to extend our boundaries of this model and this policy we're developing with our new mayor to encompass everyone's issues and the reasons why they got to be homeless in the first place.
My friend, you're ready for politics.
Woo! 2040, root for me. Vote for me.
That is if your dreams don't change, right? Because, you said you're at this weird place where, the future can change anytime.
I'm still going to be in politics. I'm pretty sure, I've been in love with politics since I was 16 years old, and I can tell you that it's going to be in my future for sure.
Well, guess what? You can run for office anytime, and this is a place where you can come back and we'll give you the platform for you to talk about everything, all your plans. So, Mazzy, it's been a pleasure having you in the studio.
Thank you so much. I really loved it.
Yeah. So, hopefully you had a great time. But before I let you go, I always want to ask a very important question that I always ask everyone who comes here. You're 21 right now.
Yes.
But when it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
That's a tough question. I would like to be remembered as someone who always worked towards being the best version of themselves. People are always afraid of, what if I am working towards a dream and it never happens? I mean, at least you can say that you work towards it. That's more than what a lot of people can say. Some people get really afraid of not making their successes or not meeting their goals, and they never start. So why not just go towards your dreams? If they happen or they don't happen, at least you can say that you tried. And that's what I want people to see, is that I tried to achieve my dreams. I've already achieved one of them, but always try to be the best person you can and always work towards success in your life.
Mazzy, it's been a pleasure having you here at the studio. You're so young, but you're so intelligent, so articulate.
Thank
you.
And
I think this time around, as always, we have the right Miss Washington, U.S.A.
Thank you.
I've been saying that for years, right? But no, seriously, you are fantastic. And any last words before we let you go? And how can people connect with you? What are social media handles that people can get in touch with you?
Most of my social media handles is under MAZZY ECKEL, MAZZYECKEL. It's my first and last name for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then my Miss Washington page is Miss WA USA. My TikTok is Miss Washington USA. My Twitter is Miss Washington USA, and as well as my Facebook.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, you heard what this young lady said. She's full of energy, full of plans in the future. Let's keep them consistent right now, because I know they might change. So fingers crossed. They might change in the next 2 weeks. But whichever way, we're going to support you, Mazzy.
Thank you.
Speaking of supporting, you're going to intern with us a little bit up there upcoming.
Yes,
Global Beauty Awards
intern.
2022. We're excited about that moment. So what are you going to wear, speaking of that?
Well, if I knew, it would still be a secret because I wouldn't be able to tell you. It's a secret.
Okay. No, I knew you were going to say that anyway. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to wear.
It's going to be glamorous, extravagant. I have not picked it out yet, but I know that's what it's going to be.
Absolutely. So before we hang up here, real quickly, I want to give you the opportunity to thank whoever you want to thank, because I know, like I said before, you didn't get here by yourself. So who would you like to thank and give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank my friends, my family, my partner, Braden, as well as my coach, Giselle Boone, and my directors, David and Maureen.
All right. Shout out to David and Maureen from Northwest Productions.
Let's go.
It's been a pleasure being, here with you at the studio. And this is home for you, so you can always come back. As long as you live in Washington,
yes, please.
Come back. Okay,
perfect.
Even when you go to Miss Universe and win it all, just still come back, okay?
Okay, I promise.
All right. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We'll see you soon. And say hello to your parents and your friends and all the sponsors. Shout out to all of them for giving the opportunity to
Yes, shout out to my
become-
sponsors.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Head to toe.
I know. They made you look like that. So that's definitely a good thing. So stay tuned right here at Channel ATV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Those of you that are watching from all over the world, we want to thank you. Those of you that are watching from within Washington State and here in the United States, thank you for supporting us. Please check out our website at channelatv.org. Support this young lady, MAZZY. She's great, as you can see. God bless you. We'll see you soon.